We're going to go there and take the game to them and try and win the match. There's no good going up there trying to defend. I think we've got to take the game to them and see if they can, we can give them sorts of problems.
We've got two footballing sides, the best two footballing sides in this division, in my opinion.
Hello, welcome. Big Jackie Charlton in the background there at St James's Park, a 30,000 crowd, as Glenn Hoddle's Swindon Town prepares to take on Kevin Keegan's Newcastle United. Hello, welcome to the West Match Live, and what a cracker it promises to be. Newcastle and Swindon, two of the most skillfully exciting sides in the new First Division. And we haven't forgotten supporters of the two Bristol clubs. There's this weekend's interesting speculation about City striker Andy Cole being watched by Premier League clubs, plus the best of the action and all the 9 goals from those two matches yesterday. That was Bristol City at home against Birmingham and Bristol Rovers away to Wolves. We'll also have goals from 7 other First Division matches. But first, this afternoon's action from St James's Park. And Mark Lawrenson, former Liverpool, former Republic of Ireland international, our regular guest on West Football, knows all about high-pressure football. This is a high-pressure one for Swindon.
I think for both of them, Roger, it's probably the most important league game that the two will play so far this year. Certainly from Swindon's point of view, they can't afford to let Newcastle win today, because I think that'll take them in the region of 12 points clear. It's going to be a good football game, as Kevin Keegan said just before the start. Both teams like to play, both teams like to attack, and we're looking forward to it.
Thanks, Mark. More from you in a moment, but we went along to the two teams' final training sessions and asked the rival managers to sum up their opponents. So it's Keegan on Hoddle, Hoddle on Keegan.
Yeah, I've known Kevin for a long time. I think we played about 3 or 4 games, but we were involved in a lot of squads together, and I think he's done a terrific job since he's taken over there. You know, there was at one stage last year where he threatened to quit because he was not given the money that he was promised, and he's proved that it was the right decision. They gave him the money, he's strengthened his squad, and obviously he's got that 30,000 behind him every other week at home, and it's working well for them. We've seen them; they're a good side, and but there are flaws. I think there are a few things that we can actually get at them.
On Sunday, of course, Glenn Hoddle will be actually walking out there with his boys and kicking it around. How much would you like to be doing exactly the same?
I can't work out whether he's lucky or I'm lucky, you know. I'll have to sort of answer that after the game. I think there's definitely some advantage in being out there, because as a manager you feel sometimes just shouting on isn't enough, and you'd like to get in there and say, hey, you do this, you do that, because you can see it all from up in the director's box where I go. Having said that, I suppose if you get beat and the fella you're marking's giving you the run around, then you probably wish you were... Glenn would probably wish he was where I was, up in the box. But he's the best player in the division. I mean, he's 34, 35 now. If I had the choice of one player in our division to put in my side, I think it'd be Glenn Hoddle.
Can't say fairer than that, can you? Well, also joining us this afternoon, Swindon's influential midfield strongman Ross McLaren, still recovering from that pelvic operation. He's been out of action for 8 months. Ross, welcome. This is a match-up there you'd like to have been playing in, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, it's very near home. Big game for us. We must win it to close the gap on Newcastle, go back into second place, and the boys are looking forward to it.
What was the feeling in the Swindon camp as they prepared for this one?
A bit down on Tuesday after getting beat by Brentford. Come Thursday, bubbling again. Started training Friday and Saturday, and they've been up there with every confidence. OK, well, gentlemen, let's have a look at the Newcastle style, then, that Swindon will be taking on this afternoon. Mark, what do you make the strong points of the team in stripes?
I would say the passing and the mobility, Rog. As we've seen from the pictures, they're all very, very good, very, very comfortable on the ball. And they've scored the goals this year as well, which obviously always helps your cause. And they've scored goals from all sorts of areas of the pitch, not only up front from the likes of Kelly and Peacock, but the likes of Sheedy, Clark, O'Brien. They've all weighed in with a quota of goals. But just from the pictures, they're all very, very comfortable. And the movement off the ball and the passing has really been a revelation. And it's nice to see in this day and age where teams can actually pass the ball to each other. You know, we've had a load of action from them, and they look a good side on the day.
Ross, briefly, this is a team that you've got to get stuck into. You'd have been looking forward to tackling this lot, wouldn't you?
Yes, we've got to get very tight in midfield, stop the ball getting to Kelly and Peacock, and then play our own game.
OK, well, that's the team then in stripes there. Famous Newcastle United in famous form for most of this season that Swindon have got to set out to stop. More from Ross and Mark throughout the afternoon. We'll be giving you lots of football. The Newcastle-Swindon match is our main one, of course, but there's a lot of football coming up later.
Atmosphere, two of the most attractive footballing teams in the land. The team news is that Newcastle have their Czech Pavel Cernicek in goal for the first time this season, replacing the injured Tommy Wright. The former Nottingham Forest flyer Franz Carr returns his place on the wing. The ex-Leicester striker David Kelly is up front, one of 3 Republic of Ireland internationals in the Newcastle lineup. The others are Liam O'Brien and Kevin Sheedy. Newcastle goalkeeper Cernicek is an under-21 international for Czechoslovakia. He signed a couple of years ago. He had a torrid time in his first season here, but is now in much more confident form. Glenn Hoddle leading Swindon in this vital game today against the team that's managed, of course, by his former England international teammate, Kevin Keegan. Well, Glenn Hoddle's lineup sees himself in the sweeper's role. Kevin Horlock, signed from West Ham, continues at left-back in place of the injured Paul Bodin. With John Moncur also injured, Nicky Summerby gets a place in midfield. And by the way, his dad, Mike, once of Manchester City in England, is among the 30,000 packed in here today. Swindon have won 5 of their last 7 league games, but today is absolutely vital. If Newcastle win, they'll go 12 points clear of Swindon, and they still have a game in hand. Newcastle having already amassed an incredible 36 from a possible 42 points. Swindon can't afford to lose this. It's as simple as that. The referee today is from Humberside, Mr. Trevor West. Well, the teams, the atmosphere, even the weather, just right. A perfect day, really, John Sillett, for what promises to be a very special football occasion.
Well, it's like a Dickens character book, isn't it? Great expectations, we all got that. Hopefully they can produce it. I think it's going to be a game whereby vital that Swindon don't crack in the first 20 minutes. The roar that we'll hear when that whistle blows will amaze you. There are a crowd here that really get behind their team straight from the start, and let's hope we see a classic.
Quite a match for young Kevin Horlock, who we saw there, the 20-year-old signed from West Ham, never made the first team at Upton Park, and in at left-back in the Swindon lineup today. Nicky Hammond just getting an early feel of the ball before the kick-off. Won back his place, of course, from Fraser Digby, who's now on loan at Manchester United. Swindon all in red. Newcastle United in their famous black and white stripes. 30,000 packed inside here. Millions more, I'm sure, watching on television. And this atmosphere here is really like turning the clock back to the 60s. Only Liverpool and Manchester United are drawing bigger crowds in the whole of England than Newcastle. All their remaining home games are all ticket. You simply cannot get a place on the seats or on the terraces for any of their matches for the remainder of this season. And Swindon Town, who were in playoff contention last season, know that this is a match really that they cannot afford to lose if they're to keep that ambition going again this season. Long clearance upfield by Howie, preventing Hoddle getting his first touch of the ball as Clark lays it off to Liam O'Brien. Hoddle going in on O'Brien, and in fact the foul by the player manager gives Newcastle United an early free kick, and I can tell you an early problem, because it's well within shooting range this for the man brought down, Liam O'Brien, who scored an absolutely thunderous goal against Leicester City just over a week ago from a very similar position to this. He can hit the ball as hard as any player I've seen. As an option, they've also got Kevin Sheedy of the wicked left foot, but it's O'Brien who drives it straight against Hazard in the wall. Not one of his better free kicks, to Swindon's relief. Scott across to pick it up, though, for Newcastle and keep their forward momentum going. Good little ball for Peacock. Calderwood read it well and prevented it going behind for a corner.
You've got to be a brave man to stand in the wall to one of O'Brien's free kicks. He can really tonk the ball.
Sheedy. O'Brien. And O'Brien took his eye off the ball almost fatally then. Tried to find Carr on this side, but young Horlock had read the danger. Ling beaten to it by Howie, but Hazard is there to win it back for Swindon. Clark pushes him aside, and that's a free kick. Nicky Hazard who, of course, knows the atmosphere in this part of the world, born in Sunderland. And a quick free kick sets Kerslake moving forward on Swindon's right. Now Nicky Summerby, O'Brien shadowing him, and a good challenge coming in from John Beresford. Swindon get the throw. Mitchell, the probable target here, the big number 11. And it comes to Maskell inside the penalty area, and Ling almost got a shot in as Benison just lost the ball momentarily. Here's Franz Carr. Chose the wrong direction, really, Carr.
I felt there that Ling had a chance there. He didn't really go for the ball and attack it. I'd like to have seen him really go in on that short back pass and really crash it in, but he's half-heartedly went for it.
Carr's header, a good one, finding Lee Clark. Exciting new find in this Newcastle side. Beresford on the left for them, the former Portsmouth fullback. Kerslake did well to dispossess him. Now Calderwood out in the sunshine, concedes the throw. Newcastle United, who had that marvellous start, winning their first 11 league games, remember, 6 at home and 5 away. Clark, and that's a goal kick. Lee Clark was only 20, and was only 20 in fact a month ago. A Geordie, born and bred, England under-21 international, and they're calling him the next player to follow in the footsteps of Gaza. Good header on there by Mitchell, but Beresford wins possession, then lovely control on the chest by Glenn Hoddle. Kerslake is brought down. Swindon's free kick. A real cup-type feeling to this match, John.
The atmosphere is tremendous. Being here makes my old neck tingle. Just would love to be out there playing, but I think with my weight problems at the moment, I struggle a bit, Alan. But it was lovely to see that touch from Glenn Hoddle. Perfect chest control.
Calderwood's free kick is a good one. Mitchell got up well. Maskell trying to get in behind the last defender, Beresford, but couldn't. Sheedy gives it away to Hoddle. On it goes to Summerby. Maskell's there again, and a good ball for Ling. That was rather a hurried effort by Martin Ling.
That's the type of problems Glenn Hoddle's going to give Newcastle. He'll come forward, he's not frightened to take people on, and a delicate little ball inside. A check, and there's Ling with the chance. Just sliced it.
Clark, and on to O'Brien. Header then by Peacock. Sean Taylor wins it back, but gives it straight to Carr. Here's Peacock once more. And the tackle earns a free kick, or it should have done, yes. The referee has brought Newcastle back to the dismay of the crowd.
I think a problem Swindon are going to find is with O'Brien. O'Brien at Birmingham in the week, with the class player. He can knock the ball about, and he's got class stamped all over him. They want to get him tight and keep on him.
And that was a great ball too by O'Brien, just a bit too strong, and Nicky Hammond out to safely collect it for Swindon. Played the last 9 games. The former Arsenal goalkeeper. Howie's clearance wasn't a very good one, but Sheedy cleaned it up nicely and finds Beresford. A really fine attacking fullback. Back it goes to Scott. Beresford again. Sheedy outside him. The long ball is straight at Calderwood, the Swindon captain. Kerslake. Now Glenn Hoddle. Hazard. Typical Swindon football, this. Lovely little triangles. Possession stuff. Everyone comfortable on the ball till Maskell gave it away to Clark, and that's a good ball for Kelly. And Kelly goes down, and the referee says play on. Peacock in possession for Newcastle. Pull back to O'Brien. He's done well, O'Brien. They can't let him get a shooting opportunity. Peacock, and now Sheedy. Good save by Hammond. Great football.
Lovely football. Lovely to see, little passing going on, movement off the ball, the ability to take somebody on. Here he is, O'Brien, just clips a little ball through there. Touch, and there's Sheedy coming on his favourite left foot. Good strike, on target. The keeper's just got it in time. Nearly went under him.
Well, so far, this match living up to everything we expected. Kerslake for Swindon. It's a good run by Kerslake. It's a brilliant run. And he finds Summerby. And Summerby turns it back dangerously to the near post, where the goalkeeper lost it a little bit. Good interception then by Hoddle. And a good second tackle by the player manager. Here's Scott. O'Brien. Scott again. Threads it through the legs of Mitchell. Now Barry Venison, the former Liverpool and Sunderland fullback, to Franz Carr, once of Nottingham Forest, of course. Clark. Good tackle by Taylor. Venison. Hoddle's there again with immaculate control. But dwelt on the ball too long. Clark goes forward and he's got Peacock in a great position. He's hit the post. A tremendous effort by Clark. But now Swindon break with Hazard. And they've got a lot of men forward here, Swindon. And through it goes to Mitchell. And Hazard with the second shot. Cernicek saved it on the first bounce. Almost first blood, though, to Newcastle, John.
A great move. Again, Hoddle gets caught in possession, which is unusual for him. He goes down, Clark takes the ball, and I thought he was going to knock it square, but he didn't. He tried the shot, and he's so unlucky. Hit the post and rebounds out.
Carr. Handball, wasn't it? It was. Kevin Horlock used his arm to control the ball. Carr in possession. Teasing and testing the fullback. And getting an excellent cross in as well. Good clearance by Summerby. But the danger's still there for Swindon. Hoddle gets it away, only as far as Venison. Now Sheedy. Venison again. Clumsy ball by him. And he had to make that tackle to save his own embarrassment.
It's lovely to see two sides trying to play football. You know, they've got managers that say, well, go out and enjoy yourself, express yourself is the word. They're expressing themselves, they've got the ability to take people on, they've got the ability to pass and control accurately. Lovely to watch already.
Goalkeeper can't pick this one up and didn't seem very sure what to do. Almost got himself in a terrible mess there, Cernicek. A bad clearance by Howie. Hazard intercepts. Now Ling. Summerby. Good run this by Summerby. Took it a shade too far though. Swindon keep possession. Ling. Calderwood. Sean Taylor. And on it goes to Hazard, always available in the middle of the field. And rides two tackles brilliantly. The second one from O'Brien brought him down. Swindon's free kick. Minutes gone. And a breathtaking opening 10 minutes it's been at St James's Park. Still Newcastle United 0, Swindon Town 0. Horlock certainly taking his time as Hazard tips it back to him. It was a good effort by the 20-year-old, but really from that range never likely to beat Cernicek. Clark, a lovely ball for Carr. Good challenge, though, from Horlock. Now Mitchell for Swindon. Ling takes over. Hazard is there again. And on it goes to Maskell. Looking for Mitchell, far post. And it wasn't a bad ball either. And Scott had to head it behind to prevent Mitchell reaching the cross.
Well played, Swindon. You know, it's lovely to see a side coming here and prepared to go forward. Swindon have looked as dangerous as Newcastle on the break. They're playing some good stuff. Round about the box, Hazard's always available, and you can see the front men, there's plenty of movement up front. They're playing with a sweeper, Hoddle, so it's interesting to see the different systems.
Newcastle have got to watch for Sean Taylor here, who scored 6 goals already this season, many of them from corners. And in he goes to win that one. Now Ling, charged down, but Swindon keep possession, and then a misunderstanding gives Peacock the ball, and Carr is free on the right. Peacock storming forward ahead of him as Carr goes round the last defender and pulls it back, and it's a great save by Hammond. A really great save there from Sheedy. Ling with the interception, and in the end they get it clear. And really that was a tremendous save by the goalkeeper.
Well, Carr was superb there. He was caught on the break. He takes him inside on his left, jockeys, goes to the outside, looks up, clips a lovely ball in, and maybe it was... I thought it was Summerby, maybe it got the header. I wasn't quite sure, because it could have been either Hammond's save or Summerby may have been there to head it off the line. Great clearance.
Porlock. And now Taylor. Calderwood. That's Kerslake. Ling. Hazard. And they're backing off dangerously. Maskell. Hazard again. Mitchell, good intelligent running by him. And a fine ball to Hazard. And a good intelligent ball to Kerslake on the right. And Kerslake wins the corner. Does he know? It's not gone out yet. Scott prevents it. Here's Sheedy. Clumsy ball by him. Ling intercepts. Porlock. Mitchell. Benison's tackle. But Hazard has it for Swindon now. That's good play. Summerby couldn't control it though. Scott takes it off him. Calderwood at the other end. And now Hoddle. That's a good-looking ball towards Mitchell, and it almost got over Howie, and Benison got the back pass all wrong. Corner to Swindon.
Again, you know, you're looking at Hazard here, and there's a little player who's got class as well. He's clipping the ball about. He's looking to see if he can penetrate this Newcastle defence, which can be suspect at times. And if anybody's going to prod an opening and find the opening, I think it's going to be little Hazard. He is the type of player that will be looking and probing all the time. I'd be very wary of him if I was Kevin Keegan.
I get the impression that Newcastle are a bit concerned about their goalkeeper. There have been one or two misunderstandings between him and fellow defenders already. That's something that will surely encourage Swindon. Hazard's corner, a good-looking one, and the keeper came and missed that one as well. But in the end, the referee decided he was fouled. It's his first game of the season, remember, Cerny-Czech, because Tommy Wright, the Northern Ireland international, is injured. And I know when he started as a Newcastle player at the beginning of last season, he played about a dozen games and made a lot of mistakes by all accounts. Didn't really expect to get back into the side. In fact, was on the transfer list, came off it only this week. And you just suspect, John, that maybe the understanding between him and the other defenders is not quite what it should be.
If I was Glenn Hoddle, after what I've seen, 15 minutes, I'd be saying, we'll take in swingers, we'll put everything virtually under the bar, and we'll put this fella under as much pressure as we possibly can. He looks a little suspect. He hasn't got the understanding with his back four, and I just feel he needs to get a good save under his belt before we'll see the best of him. He can be a good keeper. I saw him play against Coventry in a friendly, and he was superb. And I know he's better than what he's showing at the moment. It's just nerves, possibly. But as Kevin Keegan told me before the match, he's now got to grips with the English language, but he don't seem to be using it at the moment.
Well, he's OK to continue. Looks a little stunned, albeit. And in all honesty, I wasn't sure that there was any infringement by any Swindon player there. I felt they went for the ball at the same time as Cerny-Czech. A little bit lucky to get a free kick in my book. Kerslake belts it forward. Mitchell, good control by him, was it? Newcastle have it back then. And Benison gives the goalkeeper another opportunity. Better kick by him this time. But Taylor wins it for Swindon and finds Ling. Hoddle. Excellent ball, Mitchell. And another good ball by him. Kerslake on the right. Loves to get forward, David Kerslake. And a good-looking cross. Maskell brings it down. Oh, it's a good effort. And saved by Cerny-Czech. He can smile this time. But a lovely turn, wasn't it?
Great turn by Maskell. Great turn. He's got the ball played to him. He's turned. He's kept it on target. And it's the cross here from Kerslake. There's the turn. Round left-footed and a good save. Gould.
Took a deflection as well before it reached the keeper.
That man Ricochet was there again.
Hazard with the corner. Another test for the goalkeeper, who didn't look completely happy again. It's a big match for him, of course. He won't have ever experienced anything quite like this, I wouldn't think, back home in Ostrava. Used to play for Baník Ostrava in Czechoslovakia. Terry McDermott, Kevin Keegan's assistant, down there on the bench, wondering if his keeper can deal with this one again as Taylor wins the header. Cleared upfield, and that'll go out for a Swindon throw.
That keeps your back four on their toes when the keeper's having a bit of a time like our man is here. You want him to come and say, right, I'm coming for this ball, I'm going to get this ball, but he doesn't look that confident. He's looking for the referee for help at times.
Swindon have started very brightly here. Their football, just as we would have expected, has been excellent. And they've taken the game to Newcastle, although the Geordies have hit the post and produced another near miss. Here's Horlock. Ling. Foul on Martin Ling. Lee Clark, the offender.
Some haircut that, isn't it? Martin, I wish I could have mine done like that.
He definitely shares the same barber as Mr. Batty at Leeds United, I think. Hazard swings the free kick in, and it's a good-looking one, and the goalkeeper poured it away. Summerby. Maskell, good football. Ling. Good shot. Well, that wasn't far off target.
No, that's a good strike. Again, the goalkeeper came and he poured it away. He doesn't look happy with the service going in there, and I'd be a little worried. Here it comes now. Good little touch back. Left foot shot, just wide. To be fair, he had that covered.
Coming up to 20 minutes gone, and it's still 0-0 with a splendid match here on Tyneside. Peacock did well. Beresford. One back by Hazard. Mitchell goes in strongly, but not quite as strong as Scott. Here's Venison. Carr. Venison again, finding Clark this time. Newcastle showing that they too are an excellent footballing side. It's really lovely to watch. Horlock made a good tackle to win it back though for Swindon. Ling under pressure from O'Brien and loses out. Sheedy tried to play an angle ball to set Carr free but got it wrong. Now Hoddle with a long ball for Mitchell as he chases with Howie. And he did really well there, Steve Howie. Offside at the other end, which looked a debatable decision.
Sheedy there was caught in two minds. He didn't quite know. I think he wanted Carr to make a run off the ball so he could knock it inside the fullback, and Carr didn't make the run, so therefore he ended up giving it to the fullback. Kevin Sheedy is the type of player, though, with his left foot, I'd be expecting to create a lot more than he is at the moment for Newcastle.
Well, he finds Clark with that deft little ball. On it goes to Peacock. One back well by Summerby. Newcastle's throw. A bit untidy at the moment in midfield, but O'Brien finally comes out with the ball and is then caught with a very late challenge from Summerby. The Newcastle players very unhappy about that, and frankly, I think they've got good reason to be. Nicky Summerby didn't need to do that.
It's a chip off the old man's block. We were talking before the match, and in our day, when we played, we would have been, I think, in trouble a lot more than we were. We used to tackle, and when we say tackle, mean them. Nowadays, there was a tackle there that had just been a soft tackle in our day. But here, they all pounce on it and treat him as a hard man. No way are they as hard as they used to be, Alan. No way.
Well, certainly that one was hard enough for the referee to give Newcastle a free kick. Hazard gets the header clear. Clark. Venison. Carr. Not a bad ball, but Hoddle read it well. It breaks to O'Brien. And on to Kelly, and back again to O'Brien. Good work by Nicky Hammond. Had to be brave and decisive and quick then.
He was very positive. He attacked the ball straight away, read the situation, and was there and pounced on it. Good goalkeeping, well played, Nicky Hammond.
Long ball by Beresford. Hammond panicked a little bit then, and Newcastle get a throw.
Wasn't the best ball to give him because he is left-footed and he didn't really enjoy that ball being played there.
O'Brien. Howie. Looking for Kelly. It was not a good ball, though. Mitchell for Swindon. That's a good run by the big man. And he did really well then. Almost forced it through to Maskell. And the linesman is flagged for offside against Gavin Peacock. Swindon's free kick.
Mitchell looks very strong up front for Swindon. He's making some good runs. He's looking as though he's going to be a threat to Newcastle defence. And I'd just like to see him get on the end of one because I think he's the man to put one in the back of the net.
So that shot against the upright by Lee Clark of Newcastle, the nearest we've come to a goal in the opening 23 minutes here at St James's Park. Flagging then, and the linesman actually was about to tell the referee that that was a foul by Mitchell on Venison, and the referee has interpreted it completely the other way round. He's given Swindon the free kick. That's why the Geordies here are showing their displeasure as only they can. Hoddle. Oh, that's a bad ball straight to Clark. Unlike Glenn Hoddle, but he makes up for it. Ling. Good run by Ling. Good tackle, wasn't it? But still, Swindon press. Hazard. Hoddle. That's a foul. Referee says play on. Good decision. Kerslake on the right. A bit too deep the cross. No problem for Cerny-Check this time. Taylor's headed clearance, a good one, but Venison underneath it. Finds Carr. Swindon's throw.
No, this is football. We're seeing football played here today. This is both teams trying to eliminate the other. Good tackling, good reading of the game and good passing. Lovely to watch.
And again, the referee finds in favour of Swindon. Foul by O'Brien on Ling. 20 minutes of the first half remaining. Newcastle United 0, Swindon Town 0. The leaders of the First Division against the team in third place. And two of the best footballing teams outside the Premier League, and indeed some of the football we've seen already today would grace the highest division. Horlock, good-looking ball in towards Mitchell, and it was Calderwood who sneaked in at the back post unmarked and might well have done better then.
Yes, that was a good chance. He missed his kick slightly there, but I would like to have seen really that again. Here it comes up now, and Calderwood, it drops in. I think that was handball. Yeah, definitely handball. That's what the referee's giving now.
Yes, he did. Newcastle took the free kick so quickly, and it was as though he just said play on. Here's Summerby. Calderwood. Hazard. Great skill by Mickey Hazard. Good ball as well. Ling. Excellent play this by Swindon. Well, he ran into trouble, Ling, but Hazard is there to retrieve it and find Horlock. Maskell. Scott gets it away. Taylor. O'Brien takes it off him and finds Clark. But all credit to Swindon. A lot of teams come here apprehensively to St James's Park. No question of Swindon doing that. They've come here to attack, and they're attacking splendidly again and get the free kick. That seemed a harsh decision, I must say, by referee West. A foul by Scott, he said.
I've got nothing but credit for Swindon, the way they're approaching this match. They're taking it to Newcastle. The crowd are not affecting them. They're there to play, and they're showing their skills and their strengths. And I just hope they get their goal.
Hazard tried the quick free kick to try and catch Cernicek off guard. Didn't work. Played at the top level, of course, with Spurs and Chelsea, and signed for Swindon a couple of seasons ago from Portsmouth. Though, as I was saying earlier, he's from this neck of the woods, Mickey Hazard, Sunderland born and bred.
It's a different ball game watching this game today, because we've got to be so sharp. You're talking away and suddenly something's happened. A free kick's taken, a throw-in's taken. Excellent.
Hoddle just about finding Calderwood. Now Hazard again. He's having a good game. Kersley. Newcastle's throw. Kevin Keegan has done a really remarkable job in his short time in management here. Saved them from going down last season, on the final day of the season, in fact, and they won at Leicester City to finish 20th. But it's thoughts of the Premier League that fill everyone's mind now on Tyneside. And I don't think anyone in the game would doubt that Newcastle United should be playing at the highest level. The area, the club, the Geordies in particular deserve top-class football. They haven't always had the board of directors that the club deserves. Here's Horlock. Did well, really. 20, not intimidated by this at all. Ling. Taylor. Maskell. Difficult one for Hazard, that, and O'Brien got there ahead of him. But Hazard determinedly wins it back and almost set Mitchell free. Now Beresford. Good ball for Peacock. Peacock was being hauled back surely by Calderwood. Son of the former Charlton player Keith Peacock, by the way, is Gavin, and his dad is here to watch him play today. And here he is again, Gavin Peacock. Van Sheedy, out it goes to Beresford on the left. Back in again towards Clark in the penalty area. That was a good little ball. Taylor got it away from danger.
That's the first threat from Newcastle for a while.
And they just get on with it so quickly. Beresford. There's Sheedy in support. Sheedy's cross, a testing one for Horlock, who got it away to O'Brien. Didn't get the shot right, but get that one right, and a good save by Hammond.
It's a great save by Hammond there. The ball just played back here. He'd had a shot with his left foot, and now his right foot. Down goes Hammond to his right, and spreads himself and just gets the touch and is quickly up to pick up the rebound. Brilliant football again.
What a wonderfully entertaining match this is. This doesn't need any hyping, this game. It's there for all to see, the quality and the entertainment. Benison, good ball. O'Brien gives it away. And again, the whistle goes, and the free kick is in Swindon's favour. John Gorman, who does the work on the bench, of course, when Glenn Hoddle is actually playing. Former Spurs man. Hazard's free kick. It's a good one, but too close to Cernicek, perhaps, in the end.
Yeah, you'd be looking for your players to come across the face of the goalkeeper. It looks as though it's a set piece whereby they just bend it into the goalkeeper with pace, and you're looking for your player to lead in and get the touch there.
Mitchell chasing here with Scott. He hooked it intelligently away to Sheedy. Now Beresford. Sheedy again, former Liverpool and Everton player, spotted, of course, by John Sillett in his Hereford days. Here's Clark. Beresford, Sheedy, excellent football this from Newcastle, and the chip forward aimed at Peacock almost found its target.
Possibly too straight a ball from Kevin there. It needs to be the diagonal ball because it will run away. A straight ball like that normally runs away. If you hit the diagonal, it'll come back to your players.
Beresford. Peacock with the flick header. Hoddle had read it. Good ball. Hazard, first time ball. Spotted Horlock on the left. But Venison also spotted him. And Horlock wouldn't allow him any room. He must be very encouraged the way he's playing, Kevin Horlock. It's only his 8th game in the first team. Looks as though he's been there all his life.
I like the way he's volunteering to get forward. You know, he's not frightened of playing. Wonderful to see.
Ling winning a good header. Hazard. Kersley. Maskell. Done well here, Maskell. Lays it on for Hoddle. Chips it forward towards Mitchell, who got the header in, but no power.
Mickey Hazard is running the show at the moment for Swindon. He's being superb. His vision, his touch, his ability to want the ball and play football. Lovely, lovely player to watch.
Franz Carr just straight into an offside position. The referee is really helping this game to keep flowing by just allowing the team in possession to keep playing rather than bring them back for a free kick. Hazard, a good ball forward, surely. There was a hint of offside there, but the linesman kept his flag down as Somerby broke dangerously. Here's Scott. Horlock. Ling. He's given it away to Clark. Now Carr. And who should be back defending? Mickey Hazard. And who should produce a little back heeler in a tight position? That man again. Ling. Good ball. Beautiful to see some of this football. It's really refreshing. Kersley. Played that one too far ahead of Maskell there.
He was unlucky there, Kersley. Maskell was going to go make the forward run, and he had to check and just stay onside. And Kersley saw the run and played the ball just a shade too early.
Barry Venison gives it away. Hoddle's interception. Ling. Maskell's in a great position here and shouting for the ball to be released to him. It was a strange piece of defending, but very effective by John Beresford.
John Beresford should be coming into the game more going forward. You want to see him going into the opposing half. He's just sat a little bit, which surprises me.
10 minutes to go to half-time, 0-0. Carr for Newcastle. Kelly peeling away, and he tried to find him. Hoddle's clearance, and then Taylor's. Lee Clark picks it up for Newcastle and finds O'Brien. On it goes to Beresford. In towards Peacock. Taylor gets it clear. This is Ling. Mitchell. Hazard, as always, wanting the ball and usually using it very effectively. But as he tried to that time, Maskell was in an offside position. Beresford. Sheedy. Clark. The fullback looking for Peacock this time, and Hazard's there to win it back once more. Calderwood did well then and was caught as he played the ball away.
Beresford was a little unlucky there. He's gone in for the ball hard, but he just could have caught Calderwood there. But the referee saw it as a danger, and therefore, in his right, I think he pulled the game up.
Mitchell prepared to chase that one, but it's a goal kick.
Well, I can't believe, Alan, sitting here seeing all this wonderful football, there's not been a goal yet.
Yes, amazing, isn't it?
It really is. You know, both sides are creative, both sides are playing attacking football. We've got a clean sheet either end, but for me, the football is superb to watch. I hope you're all enjoying it at home.
There's Peacock. They've got a lot forward here, Newcastle, but good defending from Kerslake. Sheedy right on his toes. And Newcastle get the decision. An early throw into Peacock. Hazard takes it off him. Now Summerby for Swindon. Newcastle win it back. Clark. O'Brien. Beresford. Peacock. And Alderwood just did enough. Measured throw out by Hammond to Hazard, who finds Mitchell, and a good layoff to Ling, and on it goes. Offside though. Mitchell was offside. Unlucky that.
That was unfortunate. There looked a good move on the cards, but he's just caught offside. I don't know whether it was Mitchell or Maskell. I think Maskell may have just strayed offside because Mitchell played a quick 1-2 and was just trying to get beyond the defence, and I think Maskell there got caught.
Howie for Newcastle. It's a good-looking ball in towards Kelly, and down it goes to Clark. Hoddle, brilliant, absolutely brilliant there, Hoddle. And a good layoff from Maskell to the player-manager. On it goes to Mitchell. Newcastle have it back now with Carr. And again, Horlock doing well, but Clark on hand to pick up the pieces for Newcastle. Ling denying him any room. Venison. O'Brien. Venison again. Slides it in, and the dramatic fall by Kelly, which didn't fool the referee for one moment. And I don't blame the referee, he was absolutely right. Mitchell doing well then. Clark wins it back, and there's O'Brien for Newcastle. Just beginning to get on top in this little spell here, the home side. Carr. But it's been a very, very even match overall. Clark again for Newcastle. He's done well. He's got round Hoddle, tries the shot. Always travelling wide of target. He scored 3 times in his first 6 games this season, Lee Clark, but has now gone 15 matches without a goal.
Lovely again. You know I keep saying this, but the football played there, it was changing across the park. They're always trying to probe away Newcastle, but a lot of credit deserved for Swindon, the way they're defending brilliantly, stately, and excellent defence work going on by Swindon.
Well, the match so far, an absolute credit to the new First Division. Howie. Barry Venison. Just over 5 minutes to go to half-time. Franz Carr. It's got round Horlock here, and a testing-looking cross, flicked on towards Beresford. Sheedy. And now O'Brien. Swindon defending in numbers. Here's Carr, who caused the initial problem. Looks for Kelly, far post, and good defending again by Swindon. Kerslake gets it behind for a corner.
Give me wingers in my side any day. It's lovely to watch these players wide, getting hold of balls, taking fullbacks on, turning them, twisting them, and then getting those crosses over. That's what we want to see. Give us those type of players, and we'll see better football.
Sheedy with the corner. Howie comes storming in then from a position on the edge of the penalty area. Absolute determination written on his face as he came in to win that one.
There's only going to be one winner there, Alan.
Strangely enough, he's never actually scored a league goal for them, Steve Howe. He was a striker. It was Kevin Keegan who's converted him into a central defender, and he almost gave Hammond something to think about then. Well, it's the sort of half you don't want to end this. Kerslake forward, Maskell is offside.
Nothing against last week's side, but at 0-0 last week, we were struggling to find good things to say. Today, there's so many things happening out on this park that excites one, and you want to talk about, that you've got to be so quick. The game will pass you by.
Kerslake for Swindon. Hazard. That's a terrific ball. Absolutely brilliant ball for Horlock. And a first-time cross, too close to the goalkeeper. Might have done better just to hold on to it a bit longer there, Horlock. Easy for me to say up here, isn't it? Beresford goes forward and finds Peacock with a good ball. Good skill by him. Kelly in the middle, shapes up, and Clark is there as well. And in the end, it's Hoddle who coolly comes out with the ball.
Just didn't quite drop right for Newcastle there. It would have been a shame, because if they can go in holding 0-0, Swindon, they're going to benefit, because they'll come out the second half and really turn it on. I've got that belief in them.
Liam O'Brien. Clark. Venice. Looking for Kelly or Peacock, both of them in the area. Peacock, I think, won that. But Hammond spotted the danger early on. Hoddle. And that's a poor ball by him. Straight to Beresford. And he did well to atone for his error. Scott. Hoddle's there again now for Swindon. Mitchell making a good run up front, but he finds Hazard. A man of the half, Mickey Hazard, and battling to keep possession. Well played, Mickey Hazard. And Ling finding Kerslake on the right. And they keep trying to release this young fullback, Horlock. Venison takes it off in this time, but it's Swindon's throw. Venison thinks it's Newcastle's. Hazard. Maskell goes down under the challenge from Howie, who's absolutely furious with the referee. And with less than a minute of the first half remaining here, Swindon have a free kick in a very interesting position. Big Sean Taylor has come forward, edge of the box. So too has Colin Calderwood, the other centre-half.
It looked a fair tackle to me. I thought he played the ball there. I thought he was just a little bit unjust in getting that given against him.
Good position this for Swindon. And Hoddle wastes it somewhat. And Hazard does no better, and the ball rebounded to him. Should have made more of that, really, Swindon, John.
Yeah, and there you'd fancy Hoddle, and when you see him in practice, he's the best striker of a ball I've ever seen from set pieces round about there. He can bend the ball yards up into corners, and he really got to concentrate, and he just looked as though he lost his concentration on that one.
45 minutes are up, still no goals. Newcastle United 0, Swindon Town 0. Beresford for Newcastle, finding Sheedy. Hazard's there to dispossess him. What an inspired match he's having. And he felt then, justifiably I think, Swindon should have had the throw. But here's Clark. Oh, great play. And then taken off him by the coolest customer out there, Colin Calderwood. Summerby, good little ball into Ling. This is a promising attack, this, for Swindon. Mitchell, Horlock. And Horlock brought down by Kelly. And the Newcastle players are getting very, very angry at the referee because they feel that a lot of the decisions have unfairly gone against them in this half. I think that's a credit to Swindon, though, that they've got the home side rattled.
Yes, they're playing the football out of defence. They're changing the play. It's just a case of, you know, Newcastle have got to get the grips and put somebody on Hazard because, he, as I stated before, he's running the show.
The light's on now, the sun down, it's a little bit colder, but the entertainment still 5-star. And deep into stoppage time, Swindon have another free kick, and they make rather better use of it than their previous one. Hazard, short to Hoddle, it was clever, but Hoddle couldn't deliver the telling shot at the end.
It was different, it was new, I hadn't seen that one before. Played to perfection other than the end product. The end product was a little bit weak from Glenn Hoddle there.
Taylor with the clearance, back into the Newcastle half. Now Scott comes out with the ball, tries to release Peacock, but overhit it. I don't think the referee's had time to look at his watch. Mitchell. And Mitchell going strongly for it here with O'Brien. Howie. Sheedy. Good-looking ball for Peacock, and Kelly just ahead of him. Great tackle. Absolutely splendid defending by Sean Taylor.
It's a superb tackle. It would have been a tragedy of justice if they'd have had a chance there in Newcastle.
They've taken the corner already. Clark. Good effort. Cleared by Kerslake. Another corner. They'll only just about have time to take this, I would think. 2.5 minutes of stoppage time added already. Sheedy hits it in deep towards Howie. Nicky Hammond always first. He's had a good half as well, the young keeper.
There's so many good performances on both sides, to be fair, going out there at the moment, that it just makes you wonder to get the half-time over quickly and start again.
Well, that's the half-time whistle. The boos aimed at the referee, nothing to do with the standard of football we've seen. John Gorman, Glenn Hoddle's assistant, is in the dressing room corridor now with Phil Method.
John, the only thing missing is a goal or two.
Brilliant game, great game for football. We're playing really well and deserve to be in front. Newcastle's had a couple of good chances. You know, they've had a few good chances as well, but mainly on the break. We've had all the play, and we want to keep it going. We should have maybe got the goal just before half-time, and Glenn had the chance, but we didn't stick it away. But we'll just keep playing our football in the second half. I think it's going to be another great half, and hopefully we'll get the goal that counts.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Well, John Gorman there, Glenn Hoddle's lieutenant, will be telling Glenn how he sees it from the touchline. What an excellent first half it's been. We'll take a wee break now. And then, Mark Lawrenson, what did you see as the essential differences between the two sides in the first half?
I didn't think they were that different, Roger. If anything, Swindon looked the better team. I just felt for all the passing and all the qualities that they had, they should maybe made 1 or 2 more chances. And I think, on reflection of the first half, Newcastle probably had the better chances hitting the post, and the one cleared off the line by Summerby. But it's been a very, very good game, full of lots of quality passing and running.
Ross McLaren, former present Swindon player, when you get back in the side, were you itching to play out there when you were seeing that?
Yes, it was marvellous to see. The boys were knocking the ball about, tremendous. I'd like to see the 2 fullbacks get behind the defence and get crosses in.
Kerslake and Horlock.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, a very nasty moment, Mark, wasn't it, for Swindon when Newcastle hit the post?
That's right. I mean, Newcastle started the game very, very brightly. Glenn actually got caught with the ball. And Lee Clark, I thought he was going to knock it to Peacock, but he hit it early, left foot, and, you know, it hits the target. It would have gone in, obviously, but a good escape for Swindon. But to be fair, it's only what they deserve, Roger, in the game.
Yeah. Ross, that little bit of lady luck, you have to have it in these big matches, don't you?
Yes, I mean, you always ride your luck and hope to get a nice wee goal at the end of it.
I tell you, young Horlock's played very well against Franz Carr, the speed merchant, but there was one moment when Franz Carr really did cause problems, didn't he?
Yes, we've lost it just on the edge of their box. Mark Ling there has been knocked wide here to Franz Carr, just coming up. He's had a run at, I think it's Hurlock. I'd like to see Hurlock bring him into the pack of players instead of letting him go down the line to cross it. You know, but some of these got well back there and headed it off the line.
Mark, I tell you what, they have defended well in numbers, haven't they, Swindon? They've got bodies in there and survived.
Well, they have. What they do very well is they get people behind the ball, they get themselves solid, and then they just look to nick it off people. And, you know, to be fair, looking at the team, they haven't got great tacklers in midfield, as Ross would probably tell you, but they just intercept balls. They're very, very... I mean, the brains of Hoddle, Hazard certainly linked to a lesser degree. They're very good and they're very aware of where balls are played, and they just nick little balls and they all break. They do it ever so well.
Yeah. Let's have a look at Glenn Hoddle's action in this half then. He's been busy at the back and also getting forward nicely, Ross.
Yes, I mean, he's tremendous passer of the ball. He sets things off from the back. He brings Mickey Hazard into play. He brings Martin Ling into play, and he's essential to us.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Mark, the boy Mickey Hazard. Now, here's a Geordie, gone back up to that part of the country. He's a Sunderland lad, I believe. He'd really like to put it over on Newcastle. He's been busy.
Yeah, he's a good player, Roger. I would imagine in training he needs a ball and Glenn needs a ball and the rest of the players need a ball, and Ross is laughing at me at that. But yeah, he's a good player. His quality passing doesn't give the ball away, and you can give him the ball when he's in trouble, when he's under pressure, and he won't give it away. And if you have those sort of players in your team, you've got half a chance.
Yeah, I'd like to see them making a few more chances, wouldn't you, from their pressure? Yeah,
most definitely, because there's an aspect when you go and play away and you play ever so well and you don't necessarily create the chances. It worries you. OK, we'll see if they can do that in the second half. First from us, a wee short break. After St James's Park, and join Alan Parry.
But everyone up here on the TV gantry really buzzing with the standard of entertainment on view in the first half, and I'm sure you were too at home. The only man who doesn't seem to be particularly enjoying his afternoon, because he's been roundly booed from first minute to 45th, is Trevor West from Humberside, the referee. And I think he was a little bit over fussy with some of the free kicks he awarded against Newcastle in that first half. John Siddott, do you think we'll get goals?
Yes, I'm sure we're going to have goals. With this type of football going on, there's got to be a goal at one end or the other. We're going to get goals, Alan. Very confident of that. Reminds me of the days when Powell and Grove used to play.
Yes, great old names always being discussed on Tyneside, but it's the modern heroes that the current crop of Geordie fans are interested in, of course, because they believe that the team has the nucleus now of going on into the Premier League and becoming a force in the game again. Swindon Town, quietly, are very confident about their own future. Here's Lee Clark for Newcastle, looking for Peacock inside the penalty area. Gavin Peacock, the leading scorer with 8 goals, finds Carr. On it goes to Venison. Venison in towards Sheedy in the box. The ball cleared as far as O'Brien. And a good-looking ball to Sheedy. Sheedy! If that had fallen to his left foot instead of his right, Swindon might have been a goal down.
Well, I can't believe he didn't hit that. It came across to his left foot and he brought it back onto his right, which is his weakness. You'd expect Kevin to let fly on that left foot. He's got a great strike. There it is. I would have thought he'd have let that one go, but no, he checked inside his weaker foot. And there you are. End product. Bit like me, weak.
Some poor marking then by Swindon as well, which will have alarmed them somewhat. Hazard. Horlock's tackle actually managed to take the ball off his own player inadvertently. Newcastle's throw. Venison to O'Brien. Clark. Beresford. Sheedy. Clark again. Strong in possession, isn't he? Threaded through to Venison. And Hoddle, cool as you like, with an excellent clearance to Maskell. Maskell forward to Mitchell, but it wasn't quite strong enough to reach him as a redundant firework from earlier in the week goes off behind the Newcastle United goal. And Hazard continues to produce his fireworks for Swindon. Tries to set Summerby free. That's a foul by Summerby. Very reminiscent, really, of Liverpool in the old days, the Keegan era, the way Newcastle immediately get on with things from free kicks and corners and throw-ins. Just keep the ball moving as quickly as they can. And Swindon are the same. Another free kick has gone Swindon's way for that challenge on Summerby by Beresford.
I hope a lot of the First Division sides are watching this game. They can see points here and learn from this game how it should be played.
Hazard with the free kick. Sean Taylor, Mitchell and Maskell all inside the Newcastle penalty area. It's Mitchell who climbs high and the keeper fisted that one away to Ling. Horlock. Hoddle. Good ball. Summerby. Ling is there again. Hazard. Hazard under pressure the moment he received that. But Swindon keep possession. Ling turning it in, but offside, unfortunately. And again, Newcastle just get on with it. They roll the free kick straight into play. And a splendid long ball forward gives Nicky Hammond a problem. No problem, really. It's gone out of play from Hammond's clearance. And again, typically, it's straight back into play. O'Brien. Scott. Howie. Keep it moving on to Venison. Carr. Here's Venison again. Clark. It's done well, Clark. And a good-looking ball in towards Sheedy in the penalty area. Kerslake's clearance. And then he needed some help from Martin Ling. Beresford. It's a goal kick.
No, unlucky there, John Beresford. He was trying to get to the line and his standing foot just gave way as he was going to take the player on. This is the type of game whereby you see youngsters out on the park, in parks playing. They should be here today. They should have the opportunity to come and see the fitness of both sides. The expression going on out there is wonderful, and to see players performing at this high-quality standard just does your heart good.
Yes, I hope a few of the cynics who continue to write off English football are watching this. And this, remember, is not the highest division in the land. Clark, good work. O'Brien. Carr in space on the right now. An opportunity to attack the fullback. But he couldn't get the telling cross in. Hazard is there to win it back. Summerby. Haskell, rather. Back to Hazard. Well, Mickey Hazard has had a tendency a couple of times to just hold on to the ball a bit too long, and he did then, really. You can't really fault his overall performance. He's been magnificent. Venison with the long ball, looking for Kelly. Well won by Taylor. Hoddle, now Horlock. I've really been impressed with this 20-year-old fullback who started this move on. Ling. Now Summerby. Mitchell. Oh dear, what a shame. It had been a really superb move.
Some lovely passing going on there, some lovely interchanging of positions, and really Mitchell, you don't expect to find him out there. I wouldn't say that would be his strength, playing out wide on the right. He's just pulled away and got in a position that he looked very out of position in.
Here's Ling again. Hazard. One pass too many then, because Newcastle have it back. Liam O'Brien. Now Kevin Sheedy. Beresford is on the left. It's a good run by the fullback. And a fine ball to Clark. In first time towards Kelly. And somehow Taylor just did enough to prevent him getting in a shot.
Taylor was very fortunate there. He ducked there and it just caught Taylor in an awkward spot. The ball there, he wasn't expecting that ball. If you look at the cross, it comes and Taylor just ducks out. And it just hits Kelly in that awkward spot that I know Greavesy and I, we've had to count things at times there. Count up to 2 and hope it's all together.
Oh dear. So not only did he not get a goal, he got a stomach-churning pain for his troubles as well. And sportingly, Newcastle returned the ball to Swindon. They've knocked it out of play to enable Kelly to be treated, if that's the right word, for his little knock. Howie's clearance. Good play by Ling. But now Newcastle have it back. Sheedy. Good ball. Carr on the right. Then it goes to Kelly over his head, but not Calderwood's. Venison. Sheedy. In towards Peacock. Now Kerslake for Swindon. Forward to Mitchell, it's a very good ball. Good attack this. Maskell on the left. Ling goes on the overlap and took the defender away. Maskell got the shot in and it was deflected en route by O'Brien.
That ball from Kevin Sheedy was magnificent on that left peg of his.
Danger at the other end and almost confusion, and an amazing kick off the line by Calderwood when it seemed Kelly must score. And that all arose from a total misunderstanding between defender and goalkeeper.
Hammond had to call to there, and he didn't call, obviously. He thought he was still on his line, and he just headed the ball back. Mistake by Hammond there.
Calderwood saves a certain goal. O'Brien lifts it on towards Peacock. Oh, just pushed over the bar again by Hammond. Newcastle turning the pressure on now.
Yeah, that wonderful roar going on. If only we could have more grounds filled to capacity like this one is today, it would do our hearts a world of good. Wonderful atmosphere.
Pressure by Newcastle United now. Sheedy's corner. Hammond comes to claim it again and did well. Venison. Sheedy still out there, but it was a bad ball. But going back to that incident, John, you really have to say that David Kelly should have scored.
David Kelly had the one chance. He's disappointed me in his general play, and there was the chance you're looking for to say, well, this is what he's in the side for, and he missed it. He missed out.
Terrific work by Calderwood to deny him, but really that should have been a goal. 10 minutes into the second half. Maskell beaten to it by Venice. Clark. Hazard has it back for Swindon and finds Ling. He's had a good game too. And goes positively at defenders. Now Hazard. Into Ling again! Well, if that had been on target, it would have been a brilliant goal.
You can't beat one-touch football. It's the loveliest football, and there's nothing better than that. To see that ball played out there, a lovely first-time cross in, and the shot just going wide of the post. Lovely football.
Martin Ling, one of so many players who've performed brilliantly today. There he is again. He's given it away this time. O'Brien for Newcastle. Summerby denying him any room. O'Brien was strong, though, and skillful. Howie. Beresford. Sheedy. Scott leaves it to Beresford. Hazard blocked the cross. Scott was strong enough to win it back. And again, Ling does really well there for Swindon, despite being brought down. Here's Kersley. Clark. The ball going from one side to the other so quickly. Beresford, a good ball forward to Kelly. Offside, though. He was offside, David Kelly.
Some good tackling going on there in the middle of the park.
Fantastic atmosphere here. It really is like a cup tie, and you wish it would go to extra time, this game. It's so good. You don't want it to end. Warlock. Mitchell almost got away from the last defender, and Howie's tackle has produced another free kick and might well produce a booking for the young Newcastle man. He had something to say to the referee, not for the first time.
Bad luck here, because Howie has tackled well on 2 occasions in the first half. I felt he got pulled up when he hadn't really committed a foul, but this time is one time when he definitely went in late and caught the player from behind. There on the pitch is the old physio, Kevin Morris. Kevin, 1,090 games, he was telling me, he's been on the bench for Swindon. He's only missed 2. So really and truly, I suppose you could say he's a bit of a shirker on 2 occasions.
Mitchell in a bit of pain there from that challenge. As Swindon talked through the free kick, which has resulted from the tackle. They've been a bit wasteful with their free kicks so far today, Swindon. And a pat on the head for David Mitchell, a Scot from Glasgow, even though he's an Australian international. Very varied career he's had, playing in Scotland and England and Holland and Germany. scored in Swindon's 3-1 defeat here in the corresponding game last season. Fit to take his place for the free kick. It was a good effort. Oh, it was a tremendous effort. Actually, it's probably not quite as close as it looked there, judging by the derision from the crowd, as somebody really powered it right-footed.
Yes, he just didn't get his body over the ball. He just leant back a little bit on contact. He should have kept his head and his knee over the ball and he would have got a better result. He really had the power there.
Calderwood's clearance. Scott giving it away. Hazard. Summerby. Now Hoddle. Ling. Had to go back to Hoddle. Oh, it wasn't the most measured ball by Hoddle. It finally found its target, though, Kerslake. That's a foul, surely. No, this time the referee doesn't give it. Sheedy. Ling takes it off O'Brien. Skied clearance by Howie. O'Brien again, good control by him. Sheedy. Beresford. Not a bad ball, Peacock. Hazard's tackle was a good one. Nothing wrong with that. And in the end, the referee has obviously disagreed with me because, no, he's going to give a drop ball, actually. Quarter of an hour gone in the second half. It's still Newcastle United 0, Swindon Town 0. Peacock again for Newcastle. Great play by Hazard. Summerby. On to Mitchell. Tackle from behind by Scott was a legal one, says the referee. So was that one from Beresford. That one from Mitchell wasn't, though. Right in front of the linesman, and an angry confrontation between Kevin Scott and Dave Mitchell, which got Messrs McDermott and Keegan off the bench. Bit of a smile from Terry Mack. Wasn't that upset. Kevin Scott might have been, though.
I think Scott caught Mitchell just before that, and he felt it should have been a foul, and he tried to put the world right there by going back to Scott and retaliating. It wasn't the answer.
Number 11 it is, Rev. Yellow card for Dave Mitchell. Sorry, John.
Very willing player, isn't he? He's chased, he's worked hard all through the match, Mitchell. He's impressed me with his honesty.
Howie in possession for Newcastle. Finds Clark. On it goes to Venice. Kelly. Kelly doing well. Carr. Deep cross from Carr. Too deep, perhaps. Sheedy keeps it in. Summerby getting it forward, and Mitchell brought down again. And a little bit of afters going on there between Messrs Scott and Mitchell, I think.
Swindon have dropped Summerby out wide on the right here, and now this is where I'd prefer to see him play. When I've seen him play in the past, he's played wide on the right, and he looks a threat out here, and I just hope he can hold that position for a spell.
There's leg forward to Hoddle. That's a great ball by Hoddle for Maskell. And the goalkeeper really did splendidly then for Newcastle. Clark looking for Carr, far side. Taylor's clearance.
What a class ball that was from Glenn Hoddle. With the outside of the left foot, he threaded it through. Magnificent play. Wonderful touch.
And Cerny-Check very much to Newcastle's rescue then, as Hazard plays a splendid ball for Ling. Chances here for Swindon. On it goes towards Maskell, and the goalkeeper's there again. Quickest of all to react. Hoddle let that one through to Hammond. The cliche end-to-end football perfectly describes this game. You get the impression the players are really enjoying this match as much as all those of us watching are. Kerslake. Hoddle. On to Ling, but the interception by Scott. And on it goes to Clark, and now further still to Peacock. That wasn't a bad effort. Corner.
Again, Newcastle were quick to break there. They're picking up stuff in the midfield and spraying it out wide there. Clark just didn't quite run kindly for him. He never had his body position right. Good touch by Hammond.
Peacock takes his place in the 6-yard box for Sheedy's corner. It's a difficult one. Well cleared by Somerby. Benison hammers it straight back in. He hits Scott on the backside. Drops for Clark. Now Sheedy. Good-looking ball by Sheedy. And again, it's away by Swindon. Hoddle this time. But in fact, the flag has gone up. It's offside, presumably, so it wouldn't have counted anyway.
Hoddle has picked up quite a lot of the ball. When crosses have been going in, he's always positioned in the right place where the ball seems to drop. He seems to be a magnet to him.
John Gorman issues the orders from the touchline as Swindon continue to give every bit as good as they're taking here in this really excellent match. Lacking only in a goal. Good ball, Ling. What a fine game he's had. Somerby. Beresford's tackle. Swindon's throw-in.
We gave Ling the man of the match when he was playing, I think it was at Oxford. Greavesy told me what a good player he was. And he's right.
Taylor. Here he is again, Ling. Ling and Hazard have been an irrepressible duo in the middle of the field today for Swindon. Hoddle joins in this time. Peacock takes it off him. Sheedy. First time ball towards Kelly. And problems here for Hammond. That was handball, surely. Touch of the Maradonas there from Kelly. God wasn't smiling on David Kelly.
No, the hand of God didn't work there. Justifiably so.
He's had a disappointing game, actually, David Kelly. I wonder if there's any thought on the Newcastle bench of bringing on Mick Quinn.
Well, Quinn's the type of player that could hold things up, and he's a better player possibly with his back to goal than Kelly.
20 minutes gone in the second half. It's still Newcastle United 0, Swindon Town 0. A mistake by O'Brien gives Swindon possession on... No, offside.
Mike Somerby's heart fluttered then, I bet, with his son going through, if he hadn't heard the whistle.
Carr, he's had a quiet game, which is a great credit, I think, to Kevin Horlock, this 20-year-old signed from West Ham, though he never made the first team, as I was saying at Upton Park, has kept Carr, in general, very quiet indeed, and still joined in a lot of Swindon's attacks, though noticeably fewer times in this second half. Here's Venice. Clark. On it goes to... Ooh, Sheedy almost threaded that one through, but suddenly Swindon looked dangerous at the other end. Ling just couldn't reach it. Beresford. Peacock. Hazard's tackle, but O'Brien has the ball for Newcastle. Wanted a little 1-2 then, and it didn't come off. Naskell to Mitchell. Good-looking attack this for Swindon. They've got 4 players forward. One of them here is Hazard, and Hazard's done well. Oh, good tackle though by Beresford in the end, when initially he'd been beaten.
Good covering from the fullback there. He was round behind his central defenders. He got a good tackle in there. He needed that because they were in trouble. Hazard had made a great break.
Carr. He's got round Horlock this time, but the cross not quite true enough. Ling's clearance. Scott heads it straight back into the Swindon half. Beresford. Clark. Sheedy. Looking again for Kelly in the box. Headed away, though, by Taylor. Hazard. And Horlock. He was just looking to find space then, really.
The lad never had a lot on there. He looked up and he saw 2 opponents coming at him and thought the best thing to do would be to knock it over the top of the defence. Wisely so, because he didn't want to make a mistake in a situation like he was in there.
There's Mick Quinn, the Newcastle substitute we were mentioning earlier. Miller's clearance goes into the air. Clark is onto it for Newcastle. Sheedy up to Peacock, but Swindon have possession back again with David Kerslake. Good running then by Summerby, and he's got round the defender here. And it wasn't a bad cross, it's just his misfortune it fell to a Newcastle man. He can try again perhaps, and is hauled down by Scott. Swindon's free kick.
Yes, Nicky Summerby there took Scott on, got by him, and looked for an early ball in behind the defence. Just a shade unfortunate here. He was very... That's the foul. There it is. One arm across. Threaded arm lock. Now let's see if Swindon can produce from this position.
Just a little over 20 minutes remaining. Still 0-0. Hazard with the free kick. The goalkeeper's all the way, although he punched it surprisingly straight out to Ling. Horlock forward, and Maskell shrugged off the ball. Well, I'm sure we'd all love to see a goal, but it's the kind of match that neither side deserves to lose. For Newcastle. Oh, just read then by Hoddle, and a fine ball forward, but Mitchell couldn't get onto it. Here's Carr, gives it away to Mitchell. Forward for Maskell to chase, but Scott always favoured to get there first. Calm play then by Cernicek to Beresford. O'Brien. Beresford again. Had to get it onto his right foot and gives it away to Horlock. He gives it straight back to O'Brien now. Good ball. Barry Venison. Clark. Danger here for Swindon. Great shout for handball, but there was no question that Clark's cross hit Taylor on the arm and he didn't know anything about it. Venison did well to keep that in and find Clark. Taylor's there again with a good clearance, which Maskell really ought to have controlled to give Swindon a bit of breathing space. But he didn't, and here come Newcastle again, but a fine tackle by Calderwood. Given away then by Kerslake. This is O'Brien for Newcastle. Venison. Forward to Kelly. That was a chance again, and all credit to Nicky Hammond in the right place at the right time.
Lovely through ball. Beautiful weighty ball by Venison. He just slips it inside, and there's Kelly. That is his strength normally, to be there running in and getting shots on targets.
Calderwood. Hazard, good ball, gets it back from Maskell and plays it forward for Mitchell. Cernicek having to come out again. Took a chance, didn't he? Got away with it. And now Venison asks him to do another bit of dribbling, perhaps. This time he hacks it first time. Good control from Carr on the right. Venison with an excellent ball, finds Clark. Good tackle by Mickey Hazard.
Cernicek's amazing. He's really changed his performance the second half. He's been trying things that you'd never think he was capable of. First half, I was worried to death he was going to make a silly mistake. Now he's looking so cool, calm and collected, and he's even coming outside his box and playing. Whatever's happened to him. I think we need a dope test on him.
18 minutes to go here on Tyneside. Stoppage momentarily as one of the Newcastle defenders reties his bootlaces. Just listen to the atmosphere. Not too many Swindon fans here today, but my goodness, you wouldn't believe it the way their team has performed. And here they go on the attack again with Hazard. Just a bit short, that ball from Mitchell. Enabled Howie to get in first. Venison long ball forward, offside. Take your pick, Peacock or Kelly.
Mickey Hazard there just played it a little too tight, that ball. He'd committed the defender. He should have just slipped it wide and into the space.
Hazard. Great ball. Kerslake. He loves getting forward. Finds Summerby. Now Ling. Clever little ball back to Ling. And a good cross too. And that was a chance.
What a picture goal that would have made. Some little backheel flicks. Everything's going on out on this park today. I'm seeing class that I haven't seen for a long, long time. There's the header, just over the top. Couldn't quite get over the ball, but what great football.
Dave Mitchell, the player on the end of it. And as John was saying, it's absolutely superb stuff in the build-up. Hoddle. Yes, very unlike him. An unhurried, unpressured clearance straight into the crowd.
We'll pretend we didn't see that one, Alan.
Foul then on Peacock has earned Newcastle a free kick. Of course, in their last home game here at this packed St James's Park, they were beaten, surprisingly, by Grimsby Town. Venison sliding it into Clark, on it goes to Peacock again. He's dispossessed, though, by Horlock. Now Carr, strong in the tackle, and still has it. Did well, Carr. And still got possession. In the end gives away the corner. Quarter of an hour to go. Will we see the deadlock broken? Good clearance by Mitchell. Venison, Lee Clark, Sheedy. Big Howie's come up from the back. Not a very good ball. Now that's a totally deliberate foul by Beresford. It was a long, long way to go, of course, to goal. But I really think he deserves a caution for that, because quite clearly the Swindon man would have been away and into an almost empty half. And the referee's seen it that way as well.
He's got to be cautioned here, yeah, rightly so. There he is. He goes straight across, and no way can you let him get away with that. He's fortunate just to get a yellow card, because if that had been near his own goal, he would have possibly got sent off.
Yes, I think it was only the fact that it was in the other half of the field that saved him from the red card, perhaps, there. Kerslake would have got round him and been clear. Hoddle. Ling. Good football again. Back to Hoddle. And he's given it away. O'Brien. Carr. Clark. O'Brien there again. Threaded through to Peacock. Calderwood wanted Hammond to come and claim that one. Instead, Kerslake did the job for him.
Kerslake looks a very accomplished fullback. Very impressed with him when I've seen him play. He can get forward, he can defend. Very, very impressive young player.
Well, a draw here today would be a splendid result for Swindon, and at the moment it looks as though they might be achieving just that. We have got 13 minutes to go. It's still 0-0. They might do even better than the draw, who knows. It's impossible to predict which way this game's going to go. It's been so evenly matched. Taylor's long clearance aimed at Mitchell. Venison in there first. That's a Swindon throw.
Well, it could, with 30 minutes to go, it could still end up 3-3. It's got the ability out there on the park to make a result like that.
Maskell turned away beautifully from the defender and lays it on, or intended to, for Hazard, but it was a clumsy ball, and Clark hits it first time. Calderwood got there first. And Hammond didn't really intend to do that, I'm sure. Beresford. Sheedy. Howie did well, and Ling did even better. And suddenly a space opens up for Swindon, and Hoddle hits a brilliant ball. Well, it would have been if Maskell had kept going, actually. He backed out of it for some strange reason. Well, here he is again, though, from Taylor's clearance. He's given it away. He's looking a bit tired now. Gets it back again for the third time in quick succession. Hazard. Even beat his own man there. Now finds Ling. Mitchell running well, but it's a hard ball for him to reach. Now, did Venison hold him back? It was the other way around, said the referee. Free kick to Newcastle.
They're off again, Alan. Here we go again. So quickly taken. Marvellous, marvellous.
Venison. Horlock intercepts and finds Ling. Here's Horlock again. Well played, Horlock. Or had it gone out? No, it hadn't. Sheedy. Great ball. Beresford. Took too long, didn't he, Beresford? Well, he's got a free kick out of that, and I have to disagree with the referee again on that one. It looked a perfectly fair tackle by David Kerslake to me.
Yes, I couldn't see a lot wrong there. He just had too many touches. He had the chance to deliver the ball and just didn't deliver it in there. There's nothing wrong with that tackle at all.
I think Beresford was looking for something there. He knew he was in a cul-de-sac, and he's got something. He's got a free kick. Minutes to go. Swung in high to the far post and headed away by Calderwood, and Hammond lost it momentarily, but bravely dropped in amongst the flying studs to reclaim it.
He's earned his wages today, Hammond. He's come out there, floated in, up he goes, punch and straight down on it. Miscue, but there you are, end result right. It ends up in his hands.
Little nudge there on Maskell, not spotted by the referee. Here's Ling. Oh dear, gives it straight to Kelly. Good tackle. Hazard. Hoddle. Lovely football, under pressure in the middle of the field. And finally Hoddle hits it long, straight onto Scott's head. Beresford. Hoddle there again with the clearance, but that drops to Peacock. He's earned the throw-in off Kerslake's shins.
Hangman, give him something to hit.
Clark. Back to Sheedy. Now Beresford again. He's done well. He's made some room here. Good-looking cross as well. Ling's clearance. O'Brien brings it down coolly. Clark. Scott. Mitchell back to denying room, and there's a break on here, perhaps for Swindon. Hazard. Good ball. Maskell. Summerby. Well, that was very ambitious effort, really. I don't think he made the right decision there, honestly.
No, I think he should have just had another touch and just gone on and maybe got a bit closer and played a 1-2. But there, I was just looking at Maskell there. He looks a little bit tired to me. He's just made about 5 mistakes on the trot. You know, he just wants to freshen his mind up and start being sharp.
Good ball forward, and Carr onto it here, and Hammond again did really, really well.
That is brilliant goalkeeping, because I could see him bringing Carr down there. As Carr entered the box, I thought penalty coming up, and Hammond watched the ball superbly well, and there he is, smothering it. Brilliant goalkeeping. Well played, Hammond.
Ling tries to win the throw off Venison, but didn't. O'Brien. Clark. Good tackle. Glenn Hoddle just stood there and let his feet do the work. Splendid play. Summerby. Good ball forward. Kerslake has got himself into the box. Goes down rather theatrically, and Cernicek had a little dribble along the goal line. Calderwood. 7 minutes to go. Still 0-0. A goal would be the icing on the cake for a splendidly entertaining and watchable match. Maskell has got in behind the last defender. This could be the goal. Mitchell in a great position in the middle, and it's dragged back. And perhaps if it had gone back to Mitchell rather than the young fullback who got forward on the overlap, there might have been a goal.
Great move.
Meantime, in this relentless game, Carr has taken the ball all the way into the Swindon half. Horlock jogs back, having made that great run forward in support of Hazard and Maskell then. But Mitchell was really well placed there, wasn't he, John, in the middle? I don't think he saw him.
No, Mitchell was in the better position of the two, and it should have been just squared to him. Having said that, Horlock got there, didn't quite have the power left in his legs to finish it off.
Cernicek's gone on another little walkabout. He's presented the ball straight back to Swindon. Kerslake finds Maskell. On to Mitchell. Back again to Maskell. Mitchell continues his run forward. Wasn't a good cross, though. Sheedy. Five minutes to go. It takes 5 seconds to score a goal, though. Anything can happen yet in this game. O'Brien. Great run by O'Brien. Splendid run. Oh, it took a deflection, and that might have carried it anywhere. He's flat out with the effort, and it was a splendid effort, too.
I think that was Glenn Hoddle who got the deflection there. He took him across the box. He checks on his right foot once. He goes again. There he beats Mickey Hazard. There he goes again. And it's...
Steve White has come on as substitute for Swindon as Newcastle take this corner. And it almost dropped for Howie. But Swindon survive again. Incidentally, our man of the match, selected by Jimmy Greaves in the studio, and no one here is going to disagree with him on this choice, Mickey Hazard. Mind you, he's one of several who've had a splendid game today for both teams. Talking about Maskell being tired, and finally they decided that on the Swindon bench, obviously, to put White on in his place now as a late substitute here. Hazard, the man of the match. Here's Ling. Hazard. Well played, Hazard again. Can he produce a goal finally? It's offside, it's offside.
Cernicek came out and stopped him. Here we go again, Alan. We're off down the side.
Well, I just stopped to look at my watch for a second then, and all of a sudden the ball is on the halfway line again. The pace of this game, which Steve White has got to try and adjust to now.
Very difficult to come on with the pace that's going on in this match, to just say, right, I'm going to come on and stamp my name on the game. I think White's got a very difficult job on hand.
Newcastle press forward again here with Kelly. Taylor denying him space out in the corner, and that's a free kick. And that's the last thing they wanted. Younger Horlock, I think he was just so tired there, he lunged at him. And that's the last thing Swindon needed at this point. A Newcastle free kick. Swung in deep towards Big Scott, but he couldn't reach it. Goal kick.
You'll be looking for those, especially taken by Kevin Sheedy with that left foot, to bend in across the face of the goalkeeper. He's just putting a bit too much height on them and too far over the back post. But his left foot is still superb.
Only 2 minutes to go now. So although we all thought all along we were going to see goals here, it's possible now that we won't get one. I only say possible, though. Mitchell's header.
I feel a little bit disappointed that I haven't seen my old skipper from Coventry, Brian Kilcline, get on the pitch. He did me the proudest moment of my life that day. He picked up that cup, and I'd love to see him come on.
Sheedy knocks it forward once more. And Kelly tried to get in between defender and goalkeeper, and Hammond reaches out and snatches it. The long kick downfield by Hammond. It breaks to Ling and on to White, and the substitute tries to get in ahead of the defender, but Venison reached him first. Howie's clearance.
There's so many good performances on both sides. You know, you look at Calderwood, he's had an excellent game for Swindon at the back, and Taylor, they've both been superb, strong in defence and looking to play their way out. There's so many good performances on both sides that it's very difficult to say who was the best player and who is the man of the match, but the touch of class has come from Hazard, I think.
Absolutely. And here he is again, bringing another touch of quality. Good ball for Kersley. Typically, neither side happy to settle for the point. They're both still going forward. At least they were for a moment ago. Now it goes back from Hazard. And the long ball forward by Calderwood, and Summerby in an onside position here. Couldn't quite get it under control. Scott for Newcastle. His clearance picked up by Kersley. Hazard to Hoddle. Can we see a late dramatic winner here, I wonder? Ling. He's done well here, Ling. He's done really well, and in the end, the shot was deflected away.
Again, Hoddle threading a killer ball through the Newcastle defence. Ling had his one touch, two touches, and he just didn't seem to have the strength left to get that power behind the shot that he needed on his left foot.
We have now moved into stoppage time. This might be Swindon's last chance to snatch it. 0-0. Taylor with the header, and it was a good effort.
This is one of those corners that, as a defender, it's always going away from you, and Taylor's coming onto it, and he's just headed it down wide of the post. But he's a powerful, strong lad, Taylor. He goes in where it hurts. He's not a bit frightened of getting a whack to get his head to the ball and to try and score that winning goal.
Not quite sure who got the knock then in that crowded goal mouth. We'll see it again here.
Ball coming over, header in, just wide. Number 5, that's Scott, isn't it? Kevin Scott it was who got the knock on the head.
Well, we've had a minute and a half now of time added. There haven't been a lot of stoppages, and that's an understatement, so there can't be too much long on the clock now. Beresford. Calderwood. Well, he had to make his own mind up then, because there obviously wasn't much communication between him and Hammond. One last push now, perhaps, by Newcastle. Clark. Sheedy. Taken off him by Ling, but that'll be a corner. Well, if 30,000 people could will the ball into the net now, Newcastle would get a winner. The noise tremendous here. The referee has looked at his watch. It's 0-0. We're well into stoppage time. Sheedy's corner. Not a bad one either. That's touched away, and then Scott miskicked, and Calderwood got it clear. The linesman's on the pitch and has flagged for a free kick to Swindon, and that will be enough now, I think, to gain them a very, very hard-earned, well-earned and valuable point here, because the final whistle must be only seconds away.
The coaching is a credit to both sides. There's two sides we've seen today. We've had the pleasure of watching the skill, the little backheel flicks, the running off the ball, the weighted pass, being wonderful to watch. Well done. Great for football.
That's the end, and you won't see many better goalless draws than that. And really, I think we should all be happy about the result. Newcastle won't be, but football can be, because I don't think either side deserved to lose this match. Newcastle United 0, Swindon Town 0. The right result, really, Swindon performed absolutely magnificently today. So too did Newcastle. The game an absolute credit to the First Division and football in general. And a point apiece, I think, the right result. Splendid, splendid match, and I'm sure everyone at home will endorse that. A really good result for Swindon Town here. Although Grimsby won, I know, in the last minute when Newcastle had their previous home game. There won't be many teams come here and get something out of it. Well, Glenn Hoddle, the Swindon Town player-manager, is now with Phil Mepham on the touchline.
Glenn, is that the best performance from your team this season?
It's a very pleasing performance, yes. To come here and play like that, we just wish we could have taken the chances that we did create, but I think we proved today that we're as good as Newcastle as a footballing side. And the finished article, if we could have just finished it off, we would have been with a good game. But it's a hell of a good game today. Hell of a good game of football from both sides for a 0-0 game.
And I think you're now second.
Yes, we've now got ourselves back in second there, which we were, yesterday. But we're very pleased with the way we've played. We've come here and we've passed the ball as well as we've done all season, to be honest.
Thanks, Glenn.
OK, cheers.
So, happy Glenn Hoddle there with a point, which really makes the point that Swindon Town belong up there in that leadership at the top of the First Division, gone back to second place. So, we'll be back in a short while with lots more football from this and other places. See you in a few moments. You told us before the game it would be a draw.
Right, didn't I?
This is why we have you in, to tell us what happens in advance. Swindon worth a draw, did you think?
Oh, most definitely. I don't think just looking over the 90 minutes that any one team richly deserved to win, Roger. I mean, it was a very, very good game, full of good passing, lots of movement off the ball. But I don't think, clinically, the keepers had to make that many good saves. And for me, actually, I actually thought the Swindon goalkeeper, Hammond, played ever so well. Made very, very few mistakes and looked worth his payday today.
Your impressions, Ross, of the match overall?
Yes, I thought we played very well, knocked it about. I said at half-time I'd like to see somebody get wide. You know, he got 1 or 2 runs in second half. But overall, I mean, a draw is a good result for us.
Yeah, indeed, he did get forward. Swindon did make chances. Let's go through that second half, though. First, that Newcastle chance, a real scare early in the second half, Mark.
Yeah, well, obviously, Sheedy picks a ball up, Beresford picks a ball up and works his way across. Early cross in. And just if anything, I think Taylor missed it completely, didn't he? He's looking to try and flick it behind him and maybe knock it out for a corner, but fortunately Kelly didn't read it and the keeper made a save.
Yeah, another dodgy moment in that Swindon penalty area, Ross. If you remember when your mate, your fellow Scot, Colin Calderwood, got the ball away when it was looking very dodgy.
Yeah, as it comes up, it's Sean Taylor with a back pass, the header. The keeper, Hammond's not talked to the centre-half, you know, and Collins come around the back of the two of them just to kick it off the line.
Not too much trouble there for Hammond in the end. Yep, Ross, the Swindon defence, we've got to say they had a real good afternoon to survive, really. They had a lot of work to do, including Hammond. At the other end, though, Mark, there were chances made by Swindon, including a very good move, ending with an opportunity for Martin Ling.
Well, that's right. If anything, Roger, I mean, the football move-wise was played by Swindon. I mean, lovely little passing, great running. Ling carries the ball forward here, commits all sorts of people, trying to play Maskell, and the keeper knocks it away, and I think the ball eventually comes back. But what they did do ever so well was that the second runners from midfield, if anything, for Swindon did very, very well. I mean, Hazard had the ball, Lingby getting forward, Summerby got forward, and they looked a good side today. And
Mr. Snernicek from Banik Ostrava, what did you think of his afternoon?
Well, I thought in the first half he was from Panik Ostrava. I don't know about Banik, but he didn't do anything wrong, to be fair. Obviously lacked a bit of confidence because he'd only played once in the first team this year, but I don't think Swindon, in the heart of hearts, thought they put him under any real pressure.
Ross, a little bit of a panic in my breast when that opportunity came for David Kelly. That was quite a good chance, wasn't it, for the Republic of Ireland international?
Yes, I mean, it's played about here. O'Brien's got it. He knocks it out wide. You know, we're just... Fennis is coming forward here. You know, he's come round the blind side, the two centre-halves, and got a good shot on, but Hammond's positioned himself very well.
And Nicky Hammond's had a super afternoon, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's made 1 or 2 great saves for us. He's kept us in the game.
All right, Mark, now, there were several good Swindon moments going forward throughout the game, and towards the end of the match, Maskell, who'd been pretty quiet, he came forward on the end of what was a good opportunity, wasn't it?
Yeah, I honestly thought this was the best move. Again, great passing out defence, and that was a feature of Swindon's game today. Always in control. Maskell here should have probably just looked up. Mitchell was a man to play, Roger, to be fair, because O'Brien got back, made a tackle, but I don't think Maskell saw Mitchell. If he did, stuck it in early, Mitchell would have had probably the best chance of the game.
Overall, Ross, we noted that Maskell wasn't having the best of afternoons. He had a super season, but he's gone a little bit quiet later. We thought Steve White might have been brought on a little earlier.
Yes, I mean, with Craig Maskell, if he's not scoring goals, you know, it's their bread and butter. Maybe if you give Steve White a bit 10, 15 minutes earlier, you know, he might have caused more problems.
Overall, are you pleased with the point or slightly disappointed?
No, I'm pleased with the point. I think we've played some tremendous stuff out of defence, got it going in midfield, and just maybe lacked crossing from wide positions.
Mark, as the Bard of Avon once said about much ado about nothing, nothing, I mean, this was, despite no goals, a super exhibition of what the First Division is capable of, wasn't it, football-wise?
Well, that's right. I think Kevin Keegan said at the start of the programme that the Swindon and Newcastle were the two best footballing teams in Division 1, and certainly today they proved that, and I can't see anybody else, including probably West Ham, live anywhere near that as far as passing quality is concerned.
Yeah, I thought that was a super exhibition of good football. I thought it was the right result. Mark got it right. It was a draw. There's a lot more good football coming up from us, including action from Bristol City and the Rovers, along with the goals from the...
Been saying it was a great advert for the First Division, but as you say, how does it end 0-0? You know, players miss chances, keepers make saves. At the end of the day, that's what you read in the papers tomorrow. But nevertheless, it was a very good game.
What about Swindon? A word for them?
Well, they played the full part in it. I mean, Glenn Hoddle believes in the same things I believe in. You know, we get the ball on the floor, we knock it around, and I hope they come up the top with us now. We both go into the Premier League because we'll be at home there.
Thanks, Kevin.
Pleasure.
Well said, Kevin. Well, we have to take a very short break now. After